An AIDS specialist later in the show, but first I'd like you to meet Mike SISCO, who says that he feels like an outcast in his own hometown. We welcome you to the show and appreciate you coming back to town to do it, Mike. So, first of all, you of course remember the day at the pool. What happened?
I went for a swim. It was very hot, and that's basically it. We went for a swim.
And what happened? Did you notice other people reacting to you?
Not till I got inside the pool, and the lifeguard recognized me, and they kind of ran like people do on those science fiction movies where Godzilla walks into the street or something. They kind of ran.
People ran. And when they started running, did you know that they were running from you or because of you?
Yes.
Because what else had you experienced in town before the swimming pool incident?
Just a lot of gossip, really. A lot of people that are afraid. And
I know this is a small town, but how would anybody know you had AIDS in the first place?
Well, when I came home, I had some trouble. I came back to be with my family, and they kind of let me down. So I was out one night.
So you were living in another city, recognized that you were sick with AIDS, and decided to come back to your hometown. And how did your family receive you?
They were afraid. The community had voiced their opinion that they didn't want me around.
So did you tell your family you had AIDS?
Yes, I did.
And so then your family then told somebody else,
yes.
And before you know, because I hear that you can start a rumor at a drugstore and by 4 o'clock it's all over this town. Yeah. So you told your family, and your family told somebody else, and before you knew it, everybody knew. So your family was afraid.
Yes.
Were they afraid to be in the same house with you, same room with you? I heard one sister had moved out when you got home.
Yes, she did. They were afraid to show the love they had for me. They weren't afraid of me. They were afraid of what the community would do to them after I left.
And so, if your family had reacted this way to you, when did the rest of the town, did you know the rest of the town also knew you had AIDS?
When the newspaper ran something every day on it.
And the newspaper report started when? After the swimming pool incident?
No, they started back in, I guess it was in May when I was out one night, and I had been drinking, and I had planned on committing suicide. That's why I was out, because my family had told me I couldn't be buried in the family plot, and they had posted.
And you couldn't be buried in the family plot. Why? Because you had AIDS?
Because I had AIDS.
And they were afraid, what, the AIDS would seep through the ground?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were going to kill yourself, and
I was going to just drive off a cliff. I was pretty much intoxicated and had made my mind up, and that's what I was going to do.
Because prior to this, had the rumors already started about you going around the supermarket and licking the fruit?
Yes.
Had you heard that?
That had been going on since the first day I got here.
That you had been seen in the supermarket licking the fruit?
Well, that they didn't want me in this particular community, and they didn't want me in this particular community, and people would go up and down the little road looking.
See, I'd heard that the local McDonald's, too, that somebody had to put a story in the newspaper because word was that you were working at McDonald's.
You know, I've never walked in that building. I've never been inside that building.
And so, explain to us how life was for you here.
I went through a social death. I stayed in a back room a lot of the times.
Where?
At my sister's apartment. And pretty much laid around and just wished that I could hurry up and die. Because I had nowhere to go. Every time I got out, people looked at me and followed me around and screamed at me and pointed.
Did people try to cause you physical harm?
No. I never encountered that, other than at the pool, people were screaming and pointing like, you know, why are you letting him get away? We've got him right here. Why don't you lock him up now while we've got him? And
were you ever arrested?
yes.
Okay, we'll be back.
Say the words, I'm sorry to the sisters. It was just more of the same from 23 years ago. I work with, a lesbian every week right now. Well, then I'm in a full-blown panic. In my head, I'm thinking, these people just spew sort of the same venom and hate, and we've given them a platform to do that again. Put myself in my place. I don't think I'm going to put my family in.
A really good friend, who you have in a position that you're dying. You're the most alone person ever. Even if you had 25,000 people around you.
It was a great idea to go public.
Listen, first of all, time out. He didn't go public. Someone went public for him.
I try to understand that here's somebody who's going to have an opinion that's obviously different than mine. Whenever somebody is articulating disdain in such a forceful way, oftentimes it's coming from ignorance, and oftentimes it's coming from a place that's deeper and greater than they know. So I try to hear what's underneath of what he's actually saying.
It was a great idea, going in before and so forth.
I took him to that. Hold that down. Thank you. It was 97 degrees, and we were poor and had no air conditioning. If he was here today, I would take him right back to the pool and get right in.
In my head, I'm constantly editing. Okay, what could come out, what could go in, what do we have that's going to form the basis for the show? Let's save this for when we're on TV, and we're on TV now. We're going to switch next group of guests coming in without finding someone who will change their opinion or wants to apologize. We don't really have enough at this point. So, I'm nervous. This is not something that is Oprah show worthy.
I remember Bob. Hi, you're wearing a red suit then.
Bob was also in the audience there today. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
I don't have anything against him, but I don't want to be around him. Don't want to drink after him. I don't want to eat after him. And
If he sneezed or something, would you be upset if he sneezed?
if I was too close to him, I probably would.
Okay, thank you, sir. You still feel the same way, Bob?
No, ma'am. I've had a complete change. I can't believe I even made that statement. I'm a Christian, and that wasn't the right thing to accept. I apologize to these girls for that statement.
You still feel the same way, Bob?
No, ma'am. I've had a complete change. I can't believe I even made that statement. I'm a Christian, and that wasn't the right thing to accept. I apologize to these girls for that statement.
Bob delivered exactly what we want. I think he had a light bulb moment as we were taping in Oprah's presence. To see this man who's 74 years old apologize was just a great moment, and I think really helped give the show heart and soul.
Thank you so much.
I just know, just based upon human nature, that you could not have everybody in that town look at themselves on that tape and 20 years later say that was okay. I believe in the goodness of human nature. I just believe that ultimately people are good. Thank you all for being here today. A special thanks to the town of Williamson, West Virginia. And Mike SISCO, this one's for you. In 1987. Mike SISCO, this one's for you. In 1987.